Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. In my last video, I have discussed about the definition of idempotent and involutory matrix. I have also discussed some of its properties as well as examples. Today I will discuss a new matrix, that is nilpotent matrix. So let's discuss the definition of this matrix. A matrix is said to be nilpotent matrix if there exists m belongs to n such that a to the power m is equals to 0. That means if you multiply the given matrix to itself by m number of times and you are getting the 0 matrix, this is null matrix, then you will say that A is a nilpotent matrix and M is called index of nilpotency. So here M is said to be index of nilpotent matrix. So let's have one example of nilpotent matrix. If we take a 2 cross 2 matrix 0 2 0 0. Now if it is nilpotent matrix, then after doing the integral powers of this matrix it becomes 0, and the time when it becomes 0 we say that is the index of nilpotent matrix. For example, if this matrix is multiplied with the same matrix for 2 times, so this give first row first column 0, first row second column 0, second row first column 0, second row second column 0. So we are getting a null matrix after taking the multiplication of the same matrix with the matrix itself. So the index of this matrix is index of nilpotency. Index of nilpotency is what? 2, because after taking the power as 2 we are getting null matrix. So index of nilpotency is 2 and this is a nilpotent matrix. There is a lot of difference between null matrix and nilpotent matrix. We say that null matrix is that matrix which is whose all entries are 0. But in this case we can get a non-zero entry, but after taking its integral powers it becomes 0. So this type of matrices are called nilpotent matrix. Now I will take one more example of this nilpotent matrix, and this matrix is very important for the competitive exams. Now our second example is a 3 cross 3 matrix in which all entries are non-zero. Now if we want to check the matrix is nilpotent or not, we have to multiply the matrix with itself, and we continue this process until it becomes a null matrix of order 3. So let's multiply. Now if we multiply the matrix with the same matrix, this becomes 1, this becomes plus 3 and this becomes plus 4. So after taking the multiplication you will see that it becomes 0 0, that is it becomes a null matrix of order 3. So A is also a nilpotent matrix. Now let's discuss some of its properties. So our first property is as follows: if A and B are nilpotent matrix, this need not imply that A plus B is nilpotent. For example, if I take a matrix A as 0 1 0 0, this is a nilpotent matrix of order 2, and the B is 0 0 1 0, this is also a nilpotent matrix of index 2. Now if we add them together, this becomes 0 1 1 0. This is a backward diagonal matrix which is not a nilpotent matrix. So the sum of two nilpotent matrices need not be nilpotent. So that was our first property. Now we will discuss the second property. Now the property that I am going to discuss is very important. Suppose if A to the power m is equals to 0, that is A is a nilpotent matrix with the index of nilpotency as m. And the second matrix that I have taken is B to the power n is equals to 0. What does it mean? It means that it is a nilpotent matrix having index of nilpotency as m. Now, where m and n are coming from the set of natural numbers. And with these conditions, it is also given that and AB is equals to BA. In this case, we have, this implies A plus B and AB are also nilpotent. Are also nilpotent. And what will be the index of nilpotency? That will be A plus B to the power LCM of this M and this N. So whenever you have two matrices and you know about the index of nilpotency of the matrices, and it is also given that AB is equals to BA, that is both the matrices are commuting together, then the sum of that two matrices and the product of that two matrices must be nilpotent. And in that case, if you want to find the index of nilpotency of the matrix A plus B, that will be LCM of index of first matrix comma index of second matrix. For example, if I take one example of this statement, this is our property number second. So the example is as follows: let A square is equals to 0, that is A is a nilpotent matrix of index 2, and B cube is equals to 0, and it is also given that AB is equals to BA. Now what about index of nilpotency of A plus B? Then in that case, if you want to calculate the index of nilpotency of A plus B, you have to take LCM of 2 and 3. That is, it will be 0, and the index of nilpotency for A plus B becomes 6 equals to 0. So I hope this property is clear to all of you. You have given these matrices and it is also given that they are commuting together. Then you will say that the sum as well as the product is also nilpotent, and the sum has the index of nilpotency as LCM of M comma N. So our next matrix is periodic matrix. A matrix is said to be periodic if A to the power M plus 1 equals to A for some M belongs to the set of natural numbers. This means that this can also be written as A raised to power M is equals to identity. This M is called period of the matrix. Now suppose you have a matrix and you are taking some of its integral powers. After taking some of its integral powers, you are getting the identity matrix. Then you will say that that power that you have taken, that becomes the period for that matrix, and the matrix is said to be a periodic matrix. Now what are the conditions for a matrix to be periodic? For a matrix to be periodic, it must be non-singular. That is, A should be non-singular. And it will satisfy A raised to power N is equals to I for some N belongs to N. So if these two conditions are satisfied by any matrix, we say that that matrix is a periodic matrix, and the power that we have taken, the integral power of that matrix, is called the period. So I hope the definition of periodic matrix is clear to all of you, and I hope it is clear to all of you. And if you are liking my content, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.